Hello. Today I'm thinking about masculine and feminine energy. I had done a previous video on this, and so I've been doing some research and some analysis of the nature here. You know, one of the things I'm realizing is that this balance of energy, this harmony between everything is united. I mean, it's almost natural. It's like the energy has a structure that follows some kind of pattern. And so I'm going to talk about that today. We're going to do a diagram that talks about masculine and feminine energy. And so first we're going to say that the masculine energy is more direct or assertive. And so I'll just draw a straight line here. Then I'm going to talk about the fact that the masculine energy is also logical. It's also kind of a straight or direct line. And so I'll start with this cross here that represents the intersection of those lines. And so if it was the first thing that existed, now we can talk about the feminine energy, and we can say that the feminine energy is nurturing. It's kind of like a circle. It's curved lines. It's saying that it unites everything, and it's finding a way for everything to be balanced in a harmony. Next, I have discovered that it's intuitive. I mean, you know, the feminine energy sort of has this way about it that just says, hey, you know what? Here's where things should intersect, and here's how things should be. And so I'm going to draw this part here. My goal of this diagram is to show that the energy is balanced. And so just like a yin and the yang, if you look at that figure, you'll see that there's a balance of energy coming from both sides. So we'll draw that energy here, and we'll say that this is our yin and the yang, and try to make sure that we represent that on our diagram. So as we keep going, the masculine energy can be more, let's say, protective. And so let's say that there's more of a square here, kind of like the Peruvian man that I was talking about before. And so this protective energy can also be disciplined. It's saying, you know what, we've got a way about things, and we've got now a triangle. So we've got a triangle, a square, a cross for masculine energy, and we've got a circle and some waves for feminine energy. Now let's talk more about feminine energy. It's definitely got some emotion to it, and so we can start to color this in and try to think about this wave propagating outward to connect all of the different disciplined and logical energy that the masculine energy had provided. Okay, so next we might also talk about creative energy, and so there could be additional waves over here that are propagating towards these more straight logical lines and following the discipline and the structure that the masculine energy had provided. And so these waves are representing the feminine energy. All right, let's jump back over to masculine energy, and let's think about what it could be to become more independent. And so as it becomes more independent, it might continue the lines from before, and it might determine that there's a center point. It might come back to a balance in that harmony in the center point. Okay? So additionally here, we will put a line for courage and being courageous. So let's also propagate these square lines here, and let's go inward, and let's say that we're actually coming together with a uniform energy structure. Okay? And you know, it doesn't all line up in the middle there, but what we're going to do is we're going to come together in a union, in a harmony. The feminine energy tends to be more receptive, and so let's say that the circle starts to propagate outward from the middle, and it goes out all the way to that outer edge, which was the nurturing and intuitive energy from before. All right, we like that one. So let's actually talk about more collaboration. And so let's say that this energy structure might be collaborative. And so we can follow these waves here. And this gives us more of a balance of energy all the way throughout. Okay? And so that's how I'm imagining this. These curved lines and these straight lines are coming together. They're creating a harmony. They're creating a union between all of the different types of things that are happening, the dynamics of energy between the masculine and the feminine. Just like these rocks in this waterfall. I mean, when I'm out here observing nature, I'm starting to understand that the water is flowing basically wherever it can around those rocks, which are kind of like the straight energy, the straight lines. You know, they're like the masculine energy, whereas the water is flowing freely. It's actually able to go around and curve and bend and go on top. You know, it does all different types of things to harmonize and to utilize the masculine structure that has been created. So the masculine structure is actually determined. It's determined to be able to flow. And so let's do, again, some more straight lines here. And let's say that the masculine energy is flowing dynamically along the lines that it had created before, to keep following the structure and to keep expanding upon it. Okay? Now, there's one additional thing that I had found for masculine energy, and that's outward reach, or, you know, the ability to want to grow. So let's continue to draw this, and let's say that it's going to continue outward. Okay? And so that expansion happens infinitely. I mean, it's going to go on for an eternity, and it's going to be able to continue the structure that it created before. Okay? So now we have feminine energy again, and it is adaptable. So it says, hey, you know what? There's more lines here. So it starts to create more adaptations to the waves that it had before. And they might be a little different than they were before. You know, that's good. Every time I go into the nature, I actually notice that there's different forms of energy, or, you know, different plants, different animals. I notice different flowers growing, different bloom happening. Even how the water has changed things and, you know, maybe brought the soil to a softer point. There's trees that have fallen down here. There's a dynamic set of energy flowing all around us all the time. Okay? So let's put one additional color here, and let's go with, let's do some more purple. All right, so we basically have also compassion with the feminine energy. So this compassion could be, again, these circles, okay? And it might say, hey, you know what? I love these new lines. I want to be able to grow. I want to use these lines to create more structure. And so that's what you're seeing in nature. You're seeing these lines flow, and all of this energy is creating a balance. Let's even put some additional spirals or you know, kind of shell structures here. Let's make sure that this looks adequate for what we want to do. So let's put the pink energy here again, and let's make sure that we have a good wave going. Okay. So as you follow the energy, I want you to be able to think about this and really utilize this methodology, this curved lines and straight lines, to follow the energy that you see and that you feel. And that's in nature and also in our humanity and in social behavior. We have the ability to create our own future, and that future could be something which creates a harmony of everything all together. So there's definitely something magical about the universe in the way that the energy flows together. And that's it for today. Thank you, everybody. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos of me observing nature and describing what I'm finding in reality.